Hey good people, how y'all doing? Thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. Today I'm going to be giving you all my review on the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7 Episode 6. Let's go. Guys, before I get into this video, I have reached 100 subscribers. I cannot believe it. When I saw the number, I just started to cry and was overwhelmed with happiness. I just wanted to tell you guys I appreciate you all so very much. My next goal is to try to get to 1,000. I'm gonna try, and I hope that with your support I can get there. So guys, thank you. I really appreciate you. Let's get right into this video. So when the episode opens up, we are right where we left off, the fight between Ashley and Candiace. Ashley has just told Candiace that she allegedly heard that Chris has not only just DM'd her, but has DM'd other women as well. And apparently these DMs that he has sent to other people are a lot worse than the ones that he sent to Ashley. And I'm like, Ashley, Chris's DM to you wasn't bad at all. Like, he wasn't suggesting anything inappropriate. He was just like, hey, come to the rooftop. You know, like, where's the malice in him DMing you that? I just don't get it. If what he sent to you is bad, I'd love to know what could have been worse than that. You know, if you just go by her own definition of this made me feel uncomfortable or it made me feel some type of way. Honestly, I feel like Ashley just said what she said for the wow factor. She wanted to get under Candiace's skin. She knew that Candiace was digging in that butt because, you know, one thing about Candiace, like her or not, she can read, okay? She can read you front to back and back to front. It might not come out always nicely or the way that we would want her to say it or see it, but girlfriend can read. And she was getting on Ashley quite a bit in this episode, in the previous episode. So I could see why Ashley would try to make up, in my opinion, a lie to try to make Candiace even more upset. Now, I've been saying this since I've been doing these reviews of Potomac this year. Candiace knows her husband. Candiace knows Chris. Remember when Candiace heard from Gizelle what Gizelle said Chris did, which was absolutely nothing. And then she heard now from Ashley saying, you know, Chris sent me a DM. That meant nothing to Candiace. Candiace stood firm on the fact that she knows her husband. And she even said it earlier at this dinner, like, Chris did not do any of these things. And she said it with confidence. No fear, no trepidation, no nothing. So I 100% believe that she does not believe these allegations. I 100% believe that she knows her man and she knows that's not the way that he operates. Now, am I saying that Chris is completely innocent? I don't know. I know that there's a lot of people that feel like, oh, well, all men cheat and this, that, and the third. I'm not one of those people. I believe that two people can be in a faithful, committed relationship to one another. If that's Chris and Candiace, great for them. Again, I don't know, but I will say all of these alleged things that these people feel like Chris did or made them feel, I don't believe none of it. Gizelle, number one, she's always looking for a storyline that is not her own, always trying to make it seem like it's somebody else and it's not her. So miss me with that, Gizelle. Ashley and Candiace, they don't really get along. So I'm not surprised that Ashley is coming after Candiace. Matter of fact, I feel like Ashley is doing Gizelle's dirty work. Why else would you sit there in front of this group of women and say that to Candiace when you were just at her house? And you're telling me that your friend felt a certain type of way days after everything happened? So my question to that would be, how come when it happened, she didn't pick up the phone and say, hey girl, this is what happened and this is how I feel? Or how come she didn't at the event pull you to the side and say, Ashley, what's up with this guy over here? Like, he's coming on to me. She knew just from the episode that we saw her do with Ashley that Candiace and Chris were together. She knew that because Ashley was talking to her about some things. And in the flashback, she mentions Candiace, this woman. I forget the woman's name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. I think her name is Deborah, which is Ashley's friend. So you know Chris and Candiace are together. Stop it. The fact that Ashley brought it to Candiace like this was just so that Gizelle knew that Ashley had completed her assignment. That's how I looked at it, okay? This is Gizelle's way of trying to take down Candiace. Now, there's some people saying, well, last year or the year before, I believe, when Monique was on the show, that Gizelle was trying to gun for Candiace, but because the whole thing with Monique blew up, Gizelle just went after Monique. I don't know. I do believe that Gizelle cannot be trusted. I think at this point we all have come to that conclusion. But it's just really ugly. And then another thing with Ashley, to sit up there and say, oh, the pendulum swings both ways. That is just, to me, another dead giveaway that you're trying to create something that's not there. I don't understand with both Gizelle and Ashley why you guys are doing this to Candiace. And I say that because both of those women, Gizelle and Ashley, know what it's like for people to talk about their husbands or their ex-husbands or their boyfriends in a negative way. They know what that's like. They know how that feels, and I know it's very hurtful. I don't have to be in the situation myself to see that that hurts, right? So why would you do that to another woman? To me, that says a lot about their character. Not as if we didn't already know, but it to me solidifies why I feel the way that I feel about both of these ladies, which I do not like either one of them. So because Ashley keeps coming at Candiace and Chris, Candiace decides to let Ashley know that she knows about Michael's alleged, I don't know how you want to put it, dealings with a man that apparently, allegedly, Michael pays to have an experience with. I feel like there has to be some truth to that. The fact that Ashley says nothing to defend Michael suggests to me that this is true. Even Karen and Mia's reaction suggests that this is not the first time that they heard this rumor and it potentially could be true. So I thought that that was very interesting, and to me that kind of ended the argument. Like there's nothing else that Ashley could have said to Candiace at that particular point in time. Outside, we see Robin is still waiting for her Uber. I'm like, Robin, why are you still here? And if I'm Wendy, you are not riding on this bus back. Find yourself another way home, okay? Continue to wait for that Uber. But you know, Wendy is a class act. She is not petty. For the most part, she does not stoop to the level that these other women stoop to. So kudos to her for just being a class act, really. I do like Wendy. I know that all of these women have their flaws, but Wendy is okay with me. Ashley and Wendy are now at the table and they're talking. They're the last two there. Wendy wants to make sure that Ashley is good, and Ashley says the only reason why she brought up everything in front of Gizelle is because Candiace says that Gizelle is being phony and she's lying and this, that, and the third. I didn't understand what the heck Ashley was talking about. Like, even if Candiace did say that, why would you say this in front of Gizelle? Like, what was the purpose, right? If you want people to believe what you're saying, you have to make it a little bit more believable. What you're trying to say doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said earlier, she said that in front of Gizelle because she wanted Gizelle to know that she's Team Gizelle. That's pretty much what it came down to me. Candiace has pulled Gizelle aside and they're having their own discussion about this whole allegation against Chris. And long story short, Candiace asked Gizelle a very simple question. Do you believe that Chris had any malintent? Gizelle says she does not know. Gizelle, that's BS. You know that man had no malintent. And you know, in my opinion, this is not the first time that Chris and Gizelle have sat down and talked about Candiace. Now, I don't know if they talked around other people or whatever the situation is, but he felt comfortable enough to go to Gizelle and want to have a conversation, as she put it, about his wife. So therefore, y'all had to have talked about her in passing or in some way, shape, or form before. Secondly, you know that man had no malintent, because if he was going to come on to you, he would have just done it. Like, right? Like, I mean, you asked him to leave, he left. So where was his malintent? I just don't understand. You can't understand it. Gizelle cannot be understood anymore what to say about her that hasn't already been said. So her and Candiace really don't come to any type of resolution. Candiace feels like, you know, this was my girl. We were cool. I've never done anything to you for you to do this to me. But let's not let Candiace off the hook, because Candiace said earlier this season, and we're only 6 episodes in, I know, but she said earlier that she has sat with Gizelle and heard Gizelle plot against other people in the group. So if you saw her do that to other people, I don't know what would make you think that she wouldn't do that to you. Your hands are not clean with this situation either. I also do agree with Candiace when she did say to Gizelle, you know, you could have called me and told me about this whole situation. And Gizelle is like, no. Why is it a no? Why couldn't you have called her? If y'all are friends or whatever, you could have just called her and shared this information. I totally agree with Candiace on that. But, you know, like these two are just not going to be able to agree about it. I think we as the viewers, we know that this is some BS that Gizelle has brought to the table. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to hear nothing else about it because there's nothing else Gizelle can say. Candiace kind of threw me off with this. She says the reason why people cannot come forward with sexual assault allegations is because of people like you, talking about Gizelle. Gizelle says in her confessional that she feels like she's an advocate for people to come forward with their truth. And they both kind of end on that whole thing. Yeah, I don't agree with Candiace. I don't think that Gizelle, a person like Gizelle, is the reason why people can't come forward. I believe a person like Gizelle can say something like, oh, this person made me feel uncomfortable, and get people to have a conversation about that said person. And obviously it affects that person in a negative light. Her saying this about Chris, for as long as she's been saying it, even outside of the show, has made him look bad. And he could potentially have lost his job or whatever the situation is. So that part, I believe, you know, when you say this person made me feel uncomfortable and there's really nothing that that person did wrong, I don't agree with that. But to say that Gizelle is the reason why people that do actually get sexually assaulted or whatever the situation is don't come forward is a stretch. It just is a stretch. I hope that you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. So Gizelle gets on the van, and I feel like she gets on the van happy. She gets on the van feeling like she has done what she came there to do. She tells Robin that Ashley told Candiace that Ashley's friend told her that Chris was propositioning her at the bar and feeling on her butt. Are we missing something? Where did Ashley say that this woman felt like she was being propositioned and that Chris was feeling on her butt? Ashley said this. I must have missed it. I mean, I did go back and rewatch the episode, and I didn't hear anything about that. And this is why Gizelle, girl, you just can't be trusted. You just be lying for no reason. Like, why? Now, you heard Karen go on the bus prior to Gizelle getting on the bus and say to Robin that Ashley's friend did make some allegations, but that Ashley never said what those allegations were. I said all that to pretty much say that Gizelle is just a bold-faced liar. Bald-faced liar. In the next scene, Ashley is visiting a divorce lawyer, and my whole thing with this is, girl, that should have been the first thing you did when you knew that you and your husband were going to be getting a divorce. Okay? Like, you have enough sense, or you're supposed to have enough sense, because you know everybody says, oh, if you have an education, you're really smart. No. Common sense makes you smart. That's just my opinion. Yes, education helps, but education can't teach common sense. And to me, sometimes Ashley just does not seem to have common sense. If you can't trust your husband being married to him being your husband, what would make you think you could go through a divorce and be able to trust the offer or whatever it is that he's trying to do? You already saw when you went to go look at that house that the man has been lying to you. So like I said earlier, the first thing you should have did when you knew you wanted to get a divorce is see a divorce attorney. What is wrong with you? And just like the lawyer told her, she advised her that it's always the person who holds the cards who wants to get the divorce finalized. And the person we know who holds the cards is Michael. So of course he wants to get everything quickly done so that Ashley just walks out with nothing. She also tells Ashley that you buying a house with him is not the best idea because he could easily just say, you know what, that's mine, I'm taking it back. I mean, common sense. Common sense. Am I the only one who, like, am I missing something? Do y'all understand what I'm talking about? Comment below if you agree or what you feel about this Ashley and Michael situation. And while you're at it, tell me your thoughts on Candiace and Gizelle as well, and Candiace and Ashley. I want to know. So Mia, Charisse, and her bestie Jacqueline are out getting their nails done, and Mia tells the ladies that she's inviting all of the women to Miami. In my mind, I'm thinking that Mia finally has the chance to show up and show out, considering she's always knocking the ladies when it comes to them planning events and trips. If you guys notice, Mia is always saying something negative and always trying to make it seem like the accommodations that these women have provided in times past have not been up to par. Let's see what Mia can put together for these women, because now it's her turn. So my thoughts regarding that, of course, were short-lived because Mia mentions to the women that the house only has 6 bedrooms and there are 9 of these ladies going. Therefore, there will only be 3 ladies out of the 9 that will have their own rooms, which is crazy to me. I just don't understand why, when these women book these trips, and I'm talking about across all Bravo Housewife franchises, why they can't book a house that can accommodate everybody. I mean, can it be that hard? I know that these women don't personally pay for these trips, but like, come on. When you go away, you don't want to be going away sleeping with somebody else next to you. You just don't, right? You want to, most of these women have families and children and husbands. Well, not husbands, but they have children and they just want an escape. So why do I have to room with somebody else? I don't like it. So I could totally understand if anybody is upset by this. Mia does let Charisse know that she will be getting her own room, and Mia also mentions the fact that while they are in Miami, it will also be Karen's birthday. So I'm assuming that Karen is going to get her own room as well. Next up, we are over at Eddie and Wendy's house, and Wendy says in her confessional that her mom is home from the hospital, which I'm so happy to hear. Wendy and Eddie are downstairs talking, and Wendy tells Eddie that she really wants to start slowing down. Obviously, her mom being ill has put a lot of things in perspective for her, and she is going to put this whole restaurant idea with Peter on pause for now. I think that's the smartest thing that Wendy can do in this particular situation. She does mention also that she wants to deal with the things that are already on her plate as opposed to adding more. So I respect that. I think that that's the decision that she should have made from the jump. Obviously, this is something that Eddie wanted to hear as well. So I think I know that she's making the right decision. I know people personally who are in the restaurant business. It's first of all a very hard business to get established in, especially given, the last couple of years that we've had with COVID and everything. It's not as easy as maybe it has been in times past. Wendy, when they did, I believe they did show a flashback of Peter and Wendy talking about the restaurant. And if I'm not mistaken, Wendy wanted the restaurant to be kind of like a Nigerian type of restaurant. And she did mention also that there are no longer any Nigerian restaurants in the area that she was going to start the restaurant in. And that could be very telling as well. Now, you guys remember Ashley and Michael tried to do an Australian type restaurant, and that didn't work out for them. So people are very picky with the type of foods that they want to eat and things like that. And I'm not saying that if she opened up a Nigerian restaurant, it wouldn't do well. I'm just saying the industry as a whole is not really doing all that great right now, especially for new people coming in and wanting to get a piece of the pie, if you will. I respect her decision just to take a step back, reevaluate, worry about the things that she already has established. And then once everything is good with that, maybe she can go back and explore her restaurant idea. Gizelle and Robin go shopping. They're looking for outfits for their Miami trip. And the outfits that they're picking out, no surprise here, look terrible. Gizelle and Robin really don't know how to dress, especially Gizelle. So I'm like, girl, you need to, I don't know. This is just not working for me. They start to talk about the girls' trip, and Gizelle brings up the fact that Candiace wants to chop Ashley into a million pieces. Robin says, doesn't Candiace have enough going on? And I just want to start right here. Candiace, if you're listening, which you're probably not, Robin is not your friend, girl. Like, she will be team Candiace when she's with you, but she is definitely loyal to Gizelle. That woman is not your friend. And this whole scene makes that very clear. Gizelle said, yes, we need to discuss the tweet. So this is what Robin is referring to. Apparently, Chris went on social media and defended himself in regards to Gizelle's allegations. Robin says that she spoke with Candiace about it. They show a flashback of Robin and Candiace speaking, and Robin asks Candiace who were the tweets about. Candiace lets Robin know that the tweets were about Ashley and that Chris was really set off by Ashley and what she had to say. So he was hurt and pissed and he tweeted about it. For me personally, I don't see anything wrong with the tweet that Chris put out there. I feel like, listen, he's being accused of things and he's defending himself. Doesn't he have that right to do so? So again, I don't see anything wrong with that. Ashley arrives, and when she gets there, she's like, oh, Robin, your hair looks cute. No, it does not, Ashley. Why are you lying to this woman? Robin wants to know how Ashley and Michael are doing. Are they cordial? What's going on? Ashley says that she and Michael are in a good place. Michael is actually in the Bahamas right now. And one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Michael is never around. Like, I wonder, I'm not talking about his parenting skills in any way, shape, or form, but I just kind of wonder, like, once Ashley was like, yeah, I'm done, did he just feel like, okay, so you got these two kids and I'm gonna just go live my best life now because homeboy was in the Bahamas, he was in Las Vegas. Like, what is going on? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Ashley also lets them know that she and Michael have begun talking about money. And according to Ashley, she asked Michael about the LLC and if the LLC was made yet. This made me very confused, as it obviously did Gizelle and Robin. They're like, we were under the impression that the LLC was already established. They show a flashback with Karen where Ashley is saying that she put an offer in on a house with the LLC. So Ashley, girl, you lying. And this is why I have never been able to really rock with Ashley. She just lies for no reason, number one. And also when she has that little smirk on her face, it's like, you know that there's some BS that's about to come out of her mouth. Ashley tells Robin and Gizelle that she was under the impression that the LLC was already established as well. So I'm listening to what she's saying and I'm like, if that's true, that you were under the impression that it was already established, then why did you have to go and ask Michael if the LLC was made yet? Can you make that make sense, please? Am I missing something? You guys let me know. Ashley then brings up seeing the divorce attorney. You see how she's trying to turn this thing around real quick. Like, let's stop talking about the LLC and let me let y'all know that I saw this divorce attorney. And she says that the attorney advised her against getting a home with Michael. Obviously. I mean, really? So of course, Gizelle and Robin are like, see, we told you that didn't make any sense and blah, 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 blah. So they move right along and Robin wants to know why Candiace and Ashley got into it at Wendy's burn event. Gizelle brings up the fact that Candiace said that Michael was leaving Ashley to go get it in with another man, allegedly. Robin tells Ashley that this is something that Candiace told her years ago. Ashley then tries to play dumb. I mean, I believe that Ashley knows exactly what Candiace is talking about and she knows exactly what Robin is talking about. Let me remind you guys, when Candiace brought this up at the burn event, Ashley said not a mumbling word. Ashley goes on to say that she does not care and she does not believe it still, whatever that means. So production in the confessional asks Robin and Gizelle separately, do they believe the rumors? Robin says that she does not put anything past Michael, neither do I. And Gizelle says that she has not heard the rumors, but if the guy looks anything like Juan Dixon, the rumors are true. For those of you who don't know, Michael seems to have had a little thing for Robin's fiance Juan, allegedly. So Gizelle is trying to say if the man looks like him, then it's more than likely true Michael was doing the do allegedly with him. Gizelle lets Robin and Ashley know that she and Candiace had a conversation that was nice. And I'm like, Gizelle, you call that nice? You walked away all happy and Candiace was still very much upset. She was crying and there was absolutely no resolution. So what are you talking about, delusional? Gizelle is saying that this whole situation with Chris could have been dealt with and been done with, but because he went on social media and called her a liar, now she has a problem. And I'm looking at Gizelle like, girl, you are a liar. I'm sorry. I can't even put allegedly in front of that. You are a liar and you have been proven to be one on this show. Just on the bus at the burn event, you went up there and told Robin a completely different story than what actually happened. And I'm sure if the producers wanted to, if they had some time on their hands, they could put a whole montage of the lies that you told over the years on this show. So please be quiet. Robin is trying to say that Candiace is dramatizing everything to Chris. And I'm like, Robin, what are you talking about? In what way is she dramatizing things to her husband? This is a serious accusation and it's not even really an accusation. It's just a feeling that Gizelle had as it relates to Chris. Gizelle says right now she does not want to ever talk to Chris again. And if she were to see him right now, she would tell him F you. Okay, Gizelle, you are so dramatic. I'm looking at her like, why is there so much hostility for Chris? I guess Gizelle thought, I'm just going to say this story and put it out there that he allegedly made me feel uncomfortable and he's not going to say anything to defend himself. I think that's what she was honestly betting on. Like, this man liked her so much, they were so cool that he's just going to let this one go. No, ma'am. He's going to defend himself. You could potentially mess up his entire livelihood. So now we are at the airport. The ladies are arriving. I thought it was hilarious when Karen greeted Charisse And Charisse gave Karen the Melania Trump little smile, then frowned when Karen turned away. That was funny to me. I was looking at Charisse like, girl, you lucky Karen even gave you the time of day, girl. Okay? You are so lucky. When they arrive in Miami, Mia has two different cars. She calls it car A and car B. In car A, it's Mia, Karen, Mia's best friend Jacqueline, and Gizelle. Car B is obviously Charisse, Robin, Ashley, and Wendy. So as they're driving, car B has figured out that possibly that some of the women might have to share a room with one another. Over in car A, we find out that Jacqueline was never married to her PP. And if you guys don't know what PP is, according to Jacqueline, that means parenting partner. She said it just did not work out that way. And I was under the impression that they were married. You guys let me know what y'all thought. I think production kept this particular scene in the episode because we have heard outside of the show all of the stuff going on between Jacqueline and Mia now in present day regarding her relationship with her PP. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it and you will see. Mia wants to know from Gizelle what age group is she interested in dating. Gizelle says that she wants a young boy to add to the group. So apparently Gizelle has a group of men that she's dealing with. On what level she's dealing with them, I don't know. Karen asks how many are in your group, and Gizelle says there's about 3-ish. Karen says, oh, a village. I cannot with Karen. I cannot. Karen is a fool. She is a fool. Do y'all hear me? Mia says, I've never done 3. Gizelle said, I did not say I'm doing all 3 of them. Anywho, they arrive to the house. One side of the street looks like it's a retirement complex, and the other side of the street looks really luxurious. So I don't know what type of neighborhood Mia has these women in. And Wendy and the rest of the people in car B don't understand it either. I will say that the house was very nice. Everyone says that Mia did a good job. Gizelle says in her confessional, why are we not on the beach? They pan out from where the women are staying, and they're just in some random residential area. Okay, the beach is very far from them. Now listen, I can understand you're going to Miami, you hear South Beach, you want to be on the beach, but is Gizelle the right person to be asking this question? I mean, the last event that Gizelle planned was in the front of her driveway at her construction site, pretty much. So Gizelle, I think you should just keep quiet on this one. Mia introduces the chef to everyone, and the chef asks the women, do they want him to carry anything for them? Mia says, yes, you can carry my plate. And her bestie Jacqueline is right. Girl, do you want him on the plate? And I'm like, not Jacqueline trying to say that Mia got a thing for the chef. Not your bestie trying to out you. And Mia's like, no, me and G are going to be married 10 years. I'm like, okay, Mia, let me find out. Mia hands out room assignments for everyone, and she says in her confessional that she named the rooms after stripper names or phrases. Why stripper names and phrases? I don't know. I guess she just wants to have a little blast from the past. I really don't know. Charisse has the P-Valley room. Karen is in the Potomac Teas, and I'm not sure why Jacqueline almost fell out laughing when Karen read her room, but okay. I didn't know what was so funny about that. Wendy is in the Show Wives room, Gizelle is in the Hustlers room, and Jacqueline is in the Queen of Diamonds room, and Ashley is in the Players Club. We see that Gizelle and Robin once again are sharing a room. Now you guys know my thoughts, but I guess if 2 people had to share a room, it definitely would be Gizelle and Robin. And of course, Mia and her bestie Jacqueline are sharing a room as well. Charisse doesn't have a bathroom in her room, and she says that she sleeps naked and snores and needs certain amenities. And I'm like, well, girl, if you needed all of these amenities, why didn't you do what Diana did over at Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and book a hotel room somewhere else? So although she has a room all to herself, she's unhappy that she doesn't have a bathroom. Ashley is downstairs stealing Candiace's room information, and I'm like, Ashley, why are you playing games with Candiace? Now, you know this woman does not mess with you. Of course, she shares the fact that Candiace will be sharing the same room with Wendy, with Gizelle and Robin. And I'm just like, why are y'all so pressed about what Candiace is doing and what's going on with Candiace? Worry about yourselves. Their behavior is so ridiculous to me. Wendy notices that Candy's card is missing. To be honest, Wendy was probably trying to figure out where Candiace was sleeping as well. So she asks who took the card. Ashley is the one that's there in the room with her. So Ashley says, I don't know. I think I saw Mia have it in her hand. Do you guys see how easily Ashley lies? So of course, Wendy wants to know from Mia, where is Candiace sleeping? And Mia's like, she's sleeping somewhere under this roof. Mia, why the games, girl? We do know that Candiace and Wendy are going to be sharing a room. Ashley revealed that to Gizelle and Robin. And the thing about it is, when they showed Wendy's room, Wendy literally had like a full-size bed. So how is Candiace and Wendy supposed to be sleeping in the same room together? That is so shady, Mia. Like, you are so shady. I don't like that at all. It's just not even, it's not funny and it's not cute. Now the rest of the ladies are downstairs and Charisse is looking at her phone for what appears to be some hotel accommodations. She says that Candiace can have her room. Robin wants to know why she and Gizelle always have to share a room. And I'm like, Robin, although I understand where you're coming from, girl, it is what it is. You sound like a child asking Mia this question. Karen says factually, because you and Gizelle are stuck to each other's sides. Where are the lies? Mia also adds that Gizelle and Robin said that they share beds all the time. Gizelle said, who said that? The producers showed the flashback of the reunion last year where Nicki Minaj asks if Gizelle and Robin have ever shared a room, and Robin says, yes, they have. So Gizelle, please don't act like you don't know what's going on. The ladies, I guess, go upstairs to their room, and we see that Mia is calling Peter Thomas because she wants the ladies to go to bar 1 that night. Mia is telling Peter all of the women who are going to be going to the bar with her, and Peter tells Mia to tell Wendy that he has beef with her when he sees her. And so the episode ends there with the to be continued. This episode was okay. There wasn't really much going on here. I guess the next episode we're going to see is where Mia is throwing the drink in Wendy's face, which is so disrespectful on so many different levels. But that's pretty much the close of the episode. You guys let me know what you thought about this particular episode. I'm just still so disgusted by Gizelle, Robin, and Ashley's behavior and accusations, and even Mia. I mean, it's just like, come on. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought. Thank you so much for watching and helping me get to my 100 subscribers. I greatly appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.